Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have week 2 following competition, and I am going to do a powerlifting meet. All right, so realistically, I am signing up for the Home Gym Discord powerlifting meet. I'm actually pretty excited for it. Never done a powerlifting meet, and this seemed like a great opportunity to do one without having to wear a singlet. For my training roll-up though, I'm still focusing a lot on strongman movements. I haven't quite adjusted my programming to be more powerlifting centric. Honestly, I'm not sure if I will. I'm looking at probably just incorporating more powerlifting into my training, but I want to get you guys an idea of what that looks like, and let's just jump into the wrap-up.
All right, let's face it, we probably don't get the recommended servings of vegetables we need each and every day. Gilly Greens helps you bridge that nutrient gap with this mineral-rich formula, including low-temperature processed organic ingredients that are both non-GMO and non-synthetic superfoods. This formula also includes trademark KSM 66 for its ability to reduce stress, anxiety, improve cognitive function, and promote endurance. Top it off with the fact that this formula tastes absolutely amazing, sweetened with stevia and naturally peached mango. So get your hands on some Gilly Greens today. We promise you won't be disappointed.
So what we're looking at here is Monday's training session, which consisted of repetition style squats. So I'm still alternating my repetition, my heavy, and my speed work, and that's going to basically, for my main movements like squat, bench, and deadlift, it's going to change once per week. The one variable with that is that I am still planning on doing pressing about 3 times a week. Some weeks will be a little bit lighter, like this week was actually a little bit lighter. Other weeks will be a little bit heavier. But squats moved really well, and I'm really enjoying those Calibrex velocity-based training tools, which you can see on the end of the barbell. Very cool to be able to actually track my training. Here are some overhead movements. So now my speed work occurs on Monday. It used to be that my heavy work would occur on Monday, and basically I switched over to speed work, and I'm alternating my weeks between these split jerks, clean and split jerks, and doing axle, which I'll actually be doing this week in the gym. This has been actually really cool to try to get back into and relearn how to do some of those Olympic movements. And I follow it up, of course, with a little bit of bench press, and I am using the new Kabuki Transformer bar. Super awesome bar. If you've never played with one before, they feel great. And then, of course, the good old hip thrust is a sure thing for firing up that posterior chain, working on the glutes. And I'm really focusing on dropping the weight down here and trying to get a good solid lockout at the top, finish it up with shrugs. Now, Tuesday is still a conditioning day for me, but it's going to change a little bit on what I've been doing. So rather than doing like 3 to 4 cone drills, what I'm doing is usually 2 sets of cone drills, and here I'm doing box X drills. And I do about 4 runs of box X drills. I do them like back to back. I guess I had a hard time trying to figure out how I was saying that, but this is real time. I'm not a fast person at all, but I'm really focusing on the stop, turn, and move. And I really think that between these box drills and then the 5-10-5 that you're about to see right here, that this is going to help me out with a lot of those strongman movements, like in my last competition when I should have been a little bit faster, moving back and forth, trying to flip those finger fingers. So hopefully doing this conditioning is going to be the money for that. Afterwards, I move into my long, slow conditioning. And this time I decided to go for a short run, maintained a pretty good pace, and I was really focusing on cadence and stride length, and I was a little bit really not focused on speed. What I'm going to be doing is using this Garmin heart rate monitor and doing a really more thorough job of tracking. Afterwards, I jumped in the gym and I started doing some hanging leg raises, a little bit of direct ab work with the side bends as well. I know, bitch and muffin top. Moving into Wednesday was an overhead day. Of course, I start pretty much anything where I have an overhead, there's a shoulder rock in it. It's an awesome movement. If you've never actually used one, you don't know what you're missing. And I'm actually working with a couple elite powerlifters down in Australia, working on my bench form right now. And I'm hoping to tighten this up, but you can see that I'm having difficulties, especially as I get towards the upper range of my ability. My elbows basically just fly right out. So that's gonna be my big cue for this week, is focusing on keeping those elbows in. As for overhead, everything is flying overhead really easily. And here I had speed work on Monday. So on Wednesday is my repetition work for overhead. So I'm looking at sets of 7 to 8 reps and really just kind of focusing on the actual technique. To move on to yet some more overhead. So grabbing the DB15s and taking them out for a spin, pushing 55 pounds right here for sets of 8 to 10, somewhere around that range. And what I'm really trying to focus on for this is I'm gonna be adjusting my supplemental and accessory program to really jive with a lot of what Mike Bartos has been putting out on his Instagram. I'll link his Instagram down below, but he goes into a lot of detail a couple times a month, and it's just really cool to read his point of view on that. Moving into Thursday, Thursday is deadlift day, and what we're looking at right here is speed work. I will say that I felt super beat up going into this Thursday session, and when I was deadlifting 315 and measuring my velocity for my deadlift test with the Chicken Home Gym, I was getting like 1.2, 1.3 meters per second average, and my average on this day was actually all the way back down to like 0.6, 0.7. So again, that velocity-based training was great. I was able to actually drop my weight and get a more effective load for that day, so I get my velocity back up. Then I moved on to some transformer bar good mornings and finished off my back as if I wasn't already sore enough from doing pulling movements. I did these axle double overhand deadlift start rows. Great movement. Moved on to some more pulling, which was some pull-ups. And then the rest of the night was actually kind of weird because for my main job, we had a bunch of stuff that was occurring and I was trying to coordinate some stuff happening on base. So all my rows and stuff kind of got interrupted. But that's it for the wrap up. Appreciate you guys watching to this point. Now, again, I am planning on competing in that home gym Discord powerlifting competition that is taking place in December. I'm also kind of scouring USS as well as North American Strongman, trying to find a good show that I might be able to squeeze in as well. I'm not necessarily glued to just doing the powerlifting home gym Discord competition. But that's been it for this week's training footage. I appreciate each and every single one of you that watch these videos. And remember, when it comes to your garage gym training, you should always keep it better, awesome, and of course, badass. I'll see you next week.